strong winds, rain, etc. In fact, I had a request for a family to take shelter in our place in Lipa at 6 this morning. So obviously, malakas po ang hangin at sinabi po ng Pag-asa na may mga darating pang pag-ulan. Okay? And just a warning to all our friends in the Marikina, Rizal area, bagamat wala pong ulan, it's not raining in your area, yung pong mga bulubundukin, the hilly, mountainous areas further away from you, are catching a lot of rain and papunta na po yan sa Marikina. Balita ko yung Marikina River medyo mataas na rin. In any case, today is October 26, 2020. It's a Monday, and our guest for today will be Secretary Bernadette Romulo-Puyat of the Department of Tourism. Updates lang po, not just on state of tourism, but yung pong 35-year-old age bracket na binigay ng mga retirement visa. Marami pa rin po mga nagkakamot ng ulo. Sino ito mga sobrang swerte nakaka-retire at 35 years old? Medyo ang hirap pong paniwalaan, especially with 26,000 of them. Then we will speak, ito po naman, agenda ng agenda. We will speak with the General Manager of the NHA, National Housing Authority, tungkol naman sa state of housing and bakit ganun. Why is it na mas mataas pa, mas malaki pa ang intelligence fund ng Executive Department kesa sa budget para sa National Housing Program? Then we will speak with the deputy, siya yung testing czar Vince Dizon, tungkol sa mga testing na ginagawa, particularly with the PBA bubble, because apparently there's been a lot of scare, concern. Ayan po, nandiyan nga, sa may ear ng Philippine Star, sinasabi, bubbles in trouble, PBA, PFL hit by COVID. Medyo lumabas po na good news, mukhang false positive. Kumbaga, yung false positive equals negative. Wala! Kanya, pero yun po ang problema natin. Problema natin yung COVID-19 na yan, parang tanso. Ang lakas man tanso, namemeke, kunyari ginto, pero tanso. In any case, we will speak with Vince Dizon regarding that. And then we will also speak with Congresswoman Arlene Brosas tungkol naman dun sa nangyari kay Catriona Gray and kay, naku po, eto na, napapaghalatang hindi masyadong nanonood ng mga pelikula at telebisyon sa mga entertainment. Yung mga naparatangan last week na napagsabihang mag-ingat kayo sa pagsama dyan sa mga Gabriela party list, Gabriela na yan ng mga kanilang events at na mga kaliwaya, mga underground mass movement yan. Anyway, we will find out from Congresswoman Arlene Brosas. And last but not the least, pupuntahan din po natin si Marlene Alcaide, our news correspondent, to find out kung ano na nangyari dito kay Typhoon Kinta. Okay. In the meantime, because we won't have a lot of time, let's go to the stories in the front page of the Philippine Star. The Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, or PACC, said it will provide President Rodrigo Duterte the list of congressmen allegedly involved in corruption, specifically with the Department of Public Works and Highways. PACC Commissioner Greco Belhica said once they complete their report on the matter, they will submit it to the President as well as the appropriate agency so actions can be taken. Belhica emphasizes they cannot divulge the information to Congress or the public as it will go against PACC mandate. Plus, it may also jeopardize their investigation. Ayan po, no? Kasi nag-i-insist or Congressman Mike Defensor insists that Belhica name names kasi may mga tinatamaan daw or parang napapagbintangan na walang batayan sa Congress. I wrote an article concerning this, my opinion concerning this on the Philippine Star, in the Philippine Star C-Talk today. Ang title po, "You Dirty Rat." Okay, so puntahan po ninyo yun doon para malaman ninyo aking mga aking mga masasabi tungkol sa bagay na yan. Okay, Typhoon Quinta slams Albay, parts of Marinduque, while also making its fifth landfall in Pola, Oriental Mindoro. Buisesh. Quinta made its landfall over Pola at 3:30 in the morning earlier today, according to Pag-asa. Before that, it made landfall in Torrijos, Marinduque, San Andres, Quezon, Malinaw, Albay, and Tabaco City, dyan po sa Bicol. Signal number 3 is up in various parts of the country while classes had been suspended in some NCR cities and provinces. And Malacanang assured the public that the government will implement measures to curb prices or price hikes in the coming holidays. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said the Trade Department is monitoring prices not just for food but of all products. There has been an order of price freeze, but Nograles said the government will continue its eye on prices of goods. Ayan po, medyo ang pangamba raw po, baka yung pang Noche Buena, sobra nang magmahalan. Medyo parang, ewan ko, is that cause for concern? Because right now, it seems that the biggest worry on the minds of many Filipinos is how should we observe Christmas during this time of pandemic? Alam naman niyo po na sobrang dami sa atin ang nawala ng trabaho. Last I heard, it was 3.5 million and rising. And then many of us lost loved ones. Last I heard, I can actually read it. I don't have to hear it. Total number of deaths, 6,977. Kung babatayan po natin sa mga official counts, parang nalampasan na yung bilang na namatay sa Typhoon Yolanda. Okay? And medyo konti na lang, itatama na tayo sa 7,000 deaths. So, so 3.5 million plus Filipinos without work. You have nearly 7,000 Filipinos that have passed away, 6,977. So, when you say 6,977, those are also 6,977 families that are mourning and will continue to mourn kasi marami sa atin we're not able to properly mourn. Hindi tayo nakapagluksa ng maayos kasi nga, biglang sabihin siya, may COVID yung kamag-anak mo, yung mahal mo sa buhay. Biglang next day or next week, patay na yung kamag-anak mo. Pupuntahan na, hindi ko kayo pwedeng pumunta. Kailangan i-cremate na ito. Wala. So, tulala. Marami pang Pilipino ang tulala. And then, of course, we have so many kids and teachers and parents struggling with this online education because it's all new. So, I don't think we should be worried about Noche Buena prices. Palagay ko sa takbo ng sitwasyon ngayon, medyo ang problemahin natin, paano natin ganap na i-observe, paano natin aalalahanin ang Pasko. Kasi, ewan ko, my thoughts on this is, when you look back at the last 7 months and how COVID-19 has changed our lives, the way we work, our attitude towards business, parang, ewan ko, I don't want to make God, make God look like a bad God, but He does this sort of things to put us in place, to align us, to remind us, or to, kumbaga inaayos yung ating sitwasyon na masakit man, parang magulang, di ba? Masakit sa ating ituwid kuminsan yung naliligaw na anak o nagkakamali, pero kuminsan kailangan. And I feel that, with Christmas coming, the question is, how would you properly observe Christmas? Obviously, kung kayo pa rin naman ang magkasama, 3 kayo, 4 kayo, o 10 kayo sa bahay, kayo-kayo pa rin, buong 7 months, walang labasan, parang siguro, if you want to rejoice, then you can start doing your Christmas carols, doing your own in-house simbang gabi. Although sabi nila magkakaroon daw ng simbang gabi, but more importantly is to understand the meaning of it all, the meaning of Christmas, the meaning, the relationship of COVID-19, the impact of COVID-19 to Christmas, etc. And siguro figure out where to go from there. Kasi eto po, no, may bagyo. Excuse me. May bagyo, katulad kanina, 6 o'clock in the morning, may natanggap na akong text. Sir, mawalang galang na po, pasensya po sa abala, maaari po bang sumilong muna yung mga anak ko dun sa bahay ninyo kasi napakalakas po ng hangin din, natatakot po kami. Syempre, kailangan natin gawin yun. Sabi ko, sige, kausapin mo na lang si Ate Telma. And, those people, medyo safety pa yun, di ba? Kung baka napansin, delikado, lumipat muna tayo, makisilong tayo. Pero marami po, may pakiramdam ako, na paglipas itong quinta na ito, na-COVID na bagyo pa pagdating ng Pasko, and it's not the first time. I remember in 2019 when my family and I, along with a couple of pastor and church friends, bumiyahe kami ng Pabisayas dyan sa Iloilo. Congratulations nga pala sa Iloilo, yung Miss Universe Philippines, Ilongga. In any case, as we were doing our travel, para kami hinahabol ng bagyo. May bagyong parating na paglampas namin ng Mindoro, sinagasaan yung Mindoro. Pagdating namin ng Aklan, sinagasaan yung Aklan. Pagdating namin ng Iloilo, ayun, nakabuntot na sa amin, etc. And that was towards Christmas. And it was not a happy Christmas for many people. So, okay. Bago kayo ma-depress, nandito na yung ating guest, paunang guest natin. Ewan ko, sige, start na raw natin, sabi ng aking executive producer, Gab Malyari. Now, let's bring in Secretary Berna Romulo-Puyat para naman magbigay siya ng konting kaligayahan sa umaga natin. Secretary Berna, good morning po.
Hi, good morning, Cito, and good morning to everybody watching you today.
Okay, makikibalita lang kami. I hope you are well. There was a time when you were self-quarantined. Sana naman hindi ka tinamaan itong COVID na ito.
Yes, I was supposed to leave for Boracay October 1. Yeah. Negative na ako sa RT-PCR, but then somebody who I was in close contact with told me that COVID positive siya. So protocol says pag in close contact ka, kahit na negative ka, you have to isolate for 14 days. So so I had to isolate for 14 days. But thank God, after that, hindi naman ako nag-swab na for that 14-day isolation. Kasi pag walang symptoms, no need to swab. So after that, I needed to swab to go to Baguio, and then negative. So far, puro negative. Kasi right now, before you go to any tourist attraction or destination, kailangan negative ka sa RT-PCR.
Well, that's good to know. Clearly, the Lord loves you and you deserve the Lord's protection because you have been working so hard. So, masasabi ko, congratulations because after all the hard work you've done, parang medyo nagbago na, medyo nag-open up na yung mga governors, mga mayors, and also the IATF. So, what is our situation as far as local tourism is concerned?
For local tourism, Baguio has been open since last weekend. Bukas na ang Baguio to all Luzon residents, including NCR, including coming from GCQ. Ilocos Norte has been open since October 15 to all Luzon residents, including GCQ. Of course, Boracay has been open since October 1 to everyone, including coming from GCQ. Tapos, Ilocos Sur will open November 15. Again, to all Luzon residents, including GCQ. What else? El Nido, Palawan. That was good news. Last Friday, I was in El Nido, Palawan. Bukas na ang El Nido, Palawan from GCQ areas since July actually. So they've been having flights for the past 3 months. Pero finally pumayag na ang mayor nila, si Mayor Edna Lim, na magbukas kahit na from GCQ provided negative RT-PCR. I think yung El Nido was a bit of a tough one. She really wanted to see muna how it was going to be. So successful yung 3 months from GCQ area. So at least yun, unti-unti na nagbubukas lahat.
Okay, that's good news. Now, as far as the industry is concerned, what is the state of Philippine tourism? Kasi nung huli tayong nag-usap, pilit natin talagang ine-encourage yung mga viewers, mga Pilipino na lumabas, gumastos, para matulungan itong mga maliliit na business. Tapos I remember you were, at least the DOT was really pushing hard para mabigyan ng parang supplement or ano ba yun, rescue budget yung mga stakeholders. What happened to that, Secretary?
Well, at least we are very grateful to the BICAM because they allotted 6 billion for working capital loans through the SB Corps, that's under the DTI, but exclusively to the tourism industry. If it's zero interest rate, 1 year grace period, but we're still waiting for the funds to be downloaded. But while we're waiting for the funds to be downloaded sa SB Corps, nagkakaroon ng pre-qualification na. So, tuloy-tuloy na yung proseso. Yes, so likewise, there's a 3 billion cash for work with the DOLE naman. And okay na all the, parang nandun na lahat ng kung ano yung guidelines. We're just waiting for the funds to be downloaded. So, ready to go na rin yon. These, according to the law, it is for DOT accredited as long as DOT accredited ka, tour guides, or you're an employee of a DOT establishment, etc. So yun, we're awaiting. So that's the status of from the Bayanihan too. Now, but of course, whenever I talk to our stakeholders, palagi nilang sinasabi na mas importante talaga sa kanila na magkatrabaho, mag-restart ang tourism. Of course, we are grateful na for all this. Kasi syempre, even if we restart tourism, mabagal pa yan. But yun na nga, nothing beats. That's why what we're doing simultaneously is we're talking to the different local government units. Nagpapasalamat kami. The one that started it talaga was Mayor Magalong in Baguio City and their city officials. Kasi they took a risk nung sabi nila, sige magbubukas na kami. Muna, they opened first from Region 1 nung September 1, from Region 1. Tapos after that, when I met Mayor Magalong nung October 16, he said, magbubukas na rin ako October 22, 23 from GCQ residents. Kasi maganda yung protocols niya in place, triage. Tapos ang maganda, I'm encouraging, dinadala namin yung mga local government units doon. Kasi Baguio is really your new normal. Makikita mo yon na you can have a normal life, people are going out, etc. But of course, you can see people are wearing masks, face shields, watching their distance. And palagi, for example, you go to Burnham Park, people are going around there. May mga certain spots where you can wash your hands, yung sa sanitation. So I think it's like more of the other LGUs. I noticed when the Region 1 governors went to Baguio, nung nakita nila na ganon yung protocols, they're just copying it. Kasi I noticed, gusto lang naman ng mga local government units, gusto naman nila magbukas, but they just need to have an idea of how they can open. As we all know, diba, it's quite new. Even around the world, we're still looking for best practices. like in Europe, nagbukas pero nagka-outbreak ulit. So we're learning from each other. We're learning from other countries how they're doing it. And nakita na namin na you can restart tourism. Number one, dapat, which the DOT through the TPB is providing, yung digital platform. We have, number one, the Visita platform, which Baguio is using. We also have the Safe Pass, which Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur is providing. In fact, as long as you're DOT accredited, you have that Safe Pass digital application na before you enter a place, di ba, you have a QR code.
Yeah.
And doon na yung health declaration form, everything is online and it's used for contact tracing. So that's what we're doing with the different LGUs. We're giving them the digital platform.
Okay, Sec Berna, quick question lang on that part, no? Mahirap ba? Is it complicated to be registered with the DOT as a
No.
DOT? Kasi maraming tao parang natatakot or baka iniisip nila, and I have to confess, no, when I was new in tourism, I had a four bedroom bed and breakfast noon. Parang sabi ko, ang liit-liit naman itong operation natin, para lang tayong tumatanggap ng border magpaparegister pa ba sa tourism? Although it was a short-lived thing. Mahirap ba?
No, it's quite easy. In fact, well, of course, now it's actually free. We since the start of the pandemic, no Feb, we made it already free. Kasi so, but although it's very, very minimal, libre siya. But now it is quite important because before we would only look at guidelines, yung world standards, but now may health and safety na. And 96%, when we made a survey, 96% of the travelers want health and safety protocols in place. So ang mga guidelines namin is not only according to yung worldwide hotels standards for accommodation, kasama na yung nandun na yung kasama na yung WHO, DOH, at saka worldwide standards for COVID. Now more than ever, it is important. Now, kung mahirap ba, about a month ago, we already launched the online accreditation system. So isang face-to-face na lang. In fact, in some places, ginagawa namin, so there's no face-to-face except for one time. But minsan we give a provisional certificate of authority to operate. So pwedeng virtual na kasi 'di ba everything now is virtual. Pwedeng virtual. But then eventually we have to check it also physically. Kasi syempre baka naman ang pinapakita Cito, yung magaganda lang or baka hindi pala yung hotel na yun ang pinapakita.
Correct.
Oo, but then we also get in touch with the local government unit. Like in the case of Boracay, sabay ang DOT at ang LGU na nag-inspect each and every establishment. So for example, in Boracay, we have 229 accredited hotels with 5,102 rooms.
Okay.
So it's quite easy. Right now it's easy now because it's online, already all online.
Pasensya ka na, Sec Berna,
No,
kasi
that's
talaga
okay.
ang dami kong topics this morning because of what's happening. But another topic na I would like to give you a chance to clarify. Itong 32-year o 35 ba yun? 35-year-old retirees. I know you stepped in, you did something to correct it. Pero ano ba nangyayari dyan? Because we thought, pag sinabi mong retiree, 60 and above or 65 and above or 55. Mukhang ewan ko, I won't label it, but it's kind of strange and suspicious.
Actually, that's a law during Marcos time. It's an executive order during the Marcos time. And then the age na maging 35 years old was 1993 pa. So it's been since 1993. So ang in-instruct ko last week when we met with the PRA is to, first we suspended all issuance of PR sa PRA. Number two, I asked them to benchmark. Ibe-benchmark with other countries. Though there are other countries talaga na below 50, they accept retirees. But I want to see how it is in Asia, and in
Mhm.
the other countries. So we will be meeting first week of November. I gave them 2 weeks to benchmark yung retiree age based on other countries. What are the qualifications? But yun na nga it has been in existence since 1993. Baka hindi pa tayo
Is
buhay nun dito. Oo.
okay,
Hindi pa
baka
tayo
ikaw.
buhay nun. Oo. So,
Baka kayo, ako medyo ano
yes.
na ako nun. In any case,
But it's
Secretary,
also about time, 'di ba? To
yeah.
change, to check it, you have to benchmark. Although I understand that other countries, like ASEAN countries, do it, but then of course we have to. There are other things to look at. So, at saka gusto ko ay pinapa benchmark ko rin, pinapa-check ko rin yung joining fee, everything, and yung monitoring, yun ang importante sa akin.
Is
Ano ba
there a
yung
Yeah, is there a possibility that some of those visas, particularly the 26,000 visas given to Chinese retirees, could be
mm,
revoked or reviewed,
mm.
whatever?
It's definitely going to be reviewed. But
Mhm.
since Feb, actually, di ba, we had, since Feb this year, nagkaroon na ng ban. So, they haven't been able to enter since February. Wala
Okay.
pa. And up to now, wala pa rin naman. So, I'm
Okay.
asking this to be reviewed.
Okay, now kahapon may nakausap ako yung sa Taiwan naman, ano?
Mm-mm.
Kasi parang I'm not really clear. I remember when you and I spoke to each other last, we were talking
Mm-mm.
about travel bubbles
Mm-mm.
between maybe Taiwan and I think Bohol or
Mm-mm.
something. What's the situation with Taiwan or other countries who may have tourists that would be interested to come to the Philippines?
Ang problema kasi now, first with the challenges I had, and I'm so grateful that you were listening to me, you were helping me. The challenge nga right now was to open up even to domestic tourism.
Mm.
So ngayon nagbubukas na, and as I see, a lot of them want to open naman, are right now opening muna to domestic tourism as a dry run. So it's really up to the LGU.
Mm.
But ngayon yung comfort zone nila is to open first to domestic tourism. Now,
Okay.
I've been talking to my counterparts all over Asia or even their ambassadors. Ang problema rin is even let's say we accept already foreign tourists, pagbalik naman, they have to undergo a 14-day quarantine. So,
Mm.
oo,
Okay.
used almost all ASEAN countries, actually, if not all, pag bumalik, 14-day quarantine sila sa kwarto. So,
Okay.
hesitant rin yung travel, even if we have the travel bubble. The traveler is a bit hesitant kasi although they want to come, they see all the health and safety protocols in place. Pero pagbalik naman nila sa kanilang bansa, they have to quarantine for 14 days. So
Okay.
that's
Well.
also, yes.
Okay. I think I have like a minute left. Is there any thing important you want to share with our listeners or viewers, Secretary?
First of all, we're so happy na finally we are able to restart tourism. I'm grateful to the local government units for not to know that we have to give jobs back. Cito, di ba, out of the 5.7 million na na-employ ng tourism noong 2019, 4.8 million have already been affected.
Mhm.
So either nawalan ng trabaho or nabawasan ng sweldo. I know we can restart tourism slowly but surely with all the protocols in place. Kasi it's important, close to 6 months na medyo nawalan ng trabaho or nabawasan ng sweldo. So I'm so grateful na finally we are restarting tourism slowly but surely. And I know all the other local government units want to reopen, and they're looking at the other LGUs, and we're so far we're successful. But ako mismo, I want to be slow but sure, and to all the viewers, when you can, please travel domestically, travel local, support local.
Okay, Secretary, pasensya ka na, may pahabol
Mm.
lang dito. Tinatanong lang, no, what about yung travel by inter-island ferry? Yung mga boats, kasi puro raw eroplano ang nadidinig nila sa media.
Mm-mm.
and bus, wala naman, no one is talking about boats and inter-island ferry.
That's really up to the local government unit.
Aha.
Kami sa DOT, I normally kasi those who travel kasi no, the clientele of the tourist destinations all come from NCR. So lahat yun by air. But
Aha.
then that's really up to the LGUs. Let me ask, but usually yung inter-island, ano yan, hindi maybe bibisita lang or LSI or ano, but with regard to tourism, majority is coming from the NCR, so that's by air. Although we have, like for example, in Boracay from Western Visayas, pumapayag naman sila.
Mhm.
Oo.
Okay.
So it's
Uh,
case to case.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Secretary Berna. And again, congratulations. You got things going alongside Secretary Mon Lopez, Teddy Boy Locsin, with Sunny Dominguez, and DOTR Secretary Artugade. Kayo yung mga hindi bumigay, hindi pumara, push, push, push. Congratulations. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's Secretary Bernadette, Romulo-Puyat, and yun po, no? Update lang on tourism. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we go and discuss our agenda, my agenda. I'm being honest, okay? Ina-agenda ko po itong housing kasi kanya ang dami-daming COVID cases sa Metro Manila. Siksikan tayo ng siksikan, and then we treat these poor people, squatters ang tawag natin. Kailangan nila housing. We'll go for a break and we'll find out what exactly is the NHA boss doing about this here on Agenda. Okay, before we go to the housing issue, housing controversy, puntahan muna natin si Marlene Alcaide. I understand she is out there in Bicol where Typhoon Quinta just passed through. Marlene, good morning to you. How are you doing there? Okay, there's Marlene. Hi, Marlene. Okay, mukhang may delay. In case you're wondering, medyo hindi po caught unaware si Marlene. Medyo may delay ang bato ng signal from Bicol. We will try to find out because ang dami pong tinamaan nito, and according to the last interview or broadcast I heard out of Pag-asa, medyo yung bagyo, baka sometime today or tomorrow, palabas na ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Pero hindi, ngayon nasa Pilipinas pa. By tomorrow, labas na yan or tomorrow afternoon yata. Pero ang problema nila, yung ulan po. Medyo maraming dinalang ulan nitong si Quinta. Medyo weird nga na pangalan no? Kasi sa Quinta, pag nagmamaneho kayo, if you drive a car and you're on fifth, Quinta is fifth, medyo paspasan po yun. Sana. Okay, we'll try to get Marlene on the phone. Excuse me. Marlene Alcaide. Marlene, are you there?
Yes, Tito. Maaraw na dito, no, sa Legazpi, Albay, kung nasaan tayo. Pero problemado yung mga residente sa pinsalang isulot ni Tita. Hanggang ngayong umaga, may mga nakikita tayo na hanggang baywang pa rin yung baha sa loob ng kanilang mga ay kaya estudyante ay nagsaada natin kanina inabutan na nagkakape, hinihintay lang humupa yung baha para masimulan na nilang malinis ang kanilang mga bahay. Sabi nga nila, lumubugban sa baha ay nagpapasalamat pa rin sila at hindi tuluyang nasira yung kanilang mga bahay. Samantala yung mga residenteng naidigas naman kahapon ay unti-unti na rin bumabalik sa kanilang mga tahanan ngayong umaga. Natandaan natin 2 beses nag-landfall, ikinta dito sa Albay, una sa may San Miguel Island, ikalawa sa Malinaw, Albay. Sa lakas ng hangin, kagabi ang mga sasakyan, motor at bisikleta sa kalsada, nakahinto na lang bigla doon sa isang na kalsada. May hotel rin tayo nakita na pinasok ng tubig yung kanilang lobby at hanggang kaninang umaga ay naglilinis pa rin sila. Sinuspindi naman ngayong araw yung mga klase at trabaho para bigyan nga ng daan ang mga residenteng ayusin ang kanilang mga bahay na karamihan ay lumubog sa baha. Inaalam pa rin ngayon yung laki ng pinsala nitong si Quinta, pero ayon kay Cedric Diet, Chief ng Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office, sa kanilang initial report ay tila minimal damage lang daw yung inabot nitong Albay at sa hanggang sa mga oras na ito ay wala pang na-report na casualties sa ngayon. Ito?
Okay, thank you very much, Marlene, and please try to stay dry. Meron daw mga kasunod na bugso ng hangin at ulan yan. So ingat tayo, Marlene. Thank you and God bless you. Okay, that's Marlene Alcaide. Unfortunately, the signal is choppy and medyo shrill po yung ating audio. Pero ayun, dinig naman ninyo, naglandfall ng 2 beses sa Albay. So 2 lugar ang sinagasaan and a lot of strong winds, enough to make cars just pull over. Kasi mahirap din po, alam nyo, pagka ganyang may bagyo, parada na lang, parada kasi maya yung bubong lumipad, kayo ang gawing bahay na walang bubong. Okay, so in any case, speaking of bubong, nandito na po yung General Manager ng National Housing Authority, Ginoong Marcelino Escalada. Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Cito. Good morning to all of your listeners.
Okay. Katulad naman ng sinabi ko sa iyo noon, talagang suportado ko yung NHA and talagang ginagawa naming agenda yung housing. But, as I go through what happened in Congress, there are a lot of revelations that came out of those hearings na parang napakaliit daw ng budget ng tanggapan ninyo, sir.
Yeah, that's true, Cito. Actually, for 2021, NHA has proposed something like 63 billion. And it is also sad to note that of the 63 billion that we proposed for 2021, we got 2 billion for 2021 under the NEP.
Okay, now, why did that happen? Who decided to cut you from 63 to 2? Was it Congress? Was it DBM? I don't want to start a squabble here, no, sir. I'm sincerely just wanting to push for more funds for housing, more housing for poor people.
Congress actually, Cito, the House of Representatives and the House of Senate are all very supportive to the agenda, to the targets of the National Housing Authority. And that would mean a very serious consideration when we did our budget proposal as well as hearing in the House of Representatives. All of them supported our proposal. And in like manner, we got a very good and favorable support coming from the House of Senate when we had our budget hearing last week.
Yeah.
It is not actually the Congress. It's not also DBM, actually, Cito, to be fair about it.
Yeah.
NHA has proposed 63 billion, but simply because there are some probably appreciations or questions or issues that we also need to internally resolve from within NHA and DBM. And so DBM finally only approved 2 billion in the NEP.
Okay, so 2 billion because what's 2 billion? I mean, what can you build with 2 billion? Kasi ang shortage daw ng housing natin is somewhere in the I could be wrong, I'm just saying somewhere in the 6 million area.
Actually, that's correct. It's around more or less 6.5 million already right now as we speak. And
Oh,
share of NHA Zito of the 6.5 million gap of our housing is around 30%, and that is 1.8 billion. So there are two agencies right now, Zito, that undertake the housing as an intervention. One is NHA, and our market is the informal sector families.
yeah.
And the other one is Pag-ibig Fund that finances the private developers, and the market are all the formal sector, meaning the gainfully employed and members of the Pag-ibig Fund. Uh, the proposed 63 billion that we indicated in our budget is supposed to cover the 8 major programs of NHA. And that would mean the RAP LGU, our assistance to LGU, our mandamos, the clearing of Manila Bay, the IP housing, the formal sector families, the slums upgrading as well, and finally our EHAP, the emergency housing assistance, which you mentioned early on, is also very crucial in times of calamity. So right now in the NEP, we only funded 2 of these programs of the 8. So and
Which
these
are
EHAP, the Emergency Shelter Assistance Program, and the Mandamos. But the Mandamos, we also proposed for something like 6.7 billion, but Mandamos got only 1 billion. The 1 billion,
what is mandamus sa GM? Pasensya ka na, hindi ko naintindihan, hindi ko alam yan eh. Ano ba yung mandamus na yan?
yeah, if you can recall, there are 2 major activities in the past that was undertaken by NHA. The other one is the clearing of the Manila Bay.
Okay.
The Manila Bay, that includes some other major river systems that contribute to the Manila Bay pollution. And therefore,
Pag sinabi mong clearing, we're talking about clearing them of illegal shanties
that's
of
right, that's right.
housing. Okay?
Yeah,
Para
yeah.
lang malinaw kasi alam mo napakainit nitong Manila Bay rehabilitation. Baka mamaya pati ikaw masilaban dyan na tungkol sa wag. In any case, so
There is
clear, okay, clearing of the esteros.
largely in Manila that contribute to the more or less the pollution, the environmental issues of Manila Bay. That was funded many years ago, 32 billion. So NHA was already in 99 or 95% complete. In fact, we already turned over 105,000 for that. That's the first activity. The Mandamos activity, Chito, was a Supreme Court decision actually. The Supreme Court decision that we need to identify as a result of that court order by the Supreme Court, the 8 major river systems of the Manila Bay. These are the Pasig, Marikina, San Juan rivers, the Parañaque, Zapote, Las Piñas, the Navotas, Malabon, Talisay, Imus, Cavite, Laguna, Migcawayan, and up to the provinces of Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, and Bataan. So
Okay.
all of these are the major river systems outside Metro Manila. And there is that mandamos that compelled the government to really clear all the settlers living along the major river system. So therefore, where do we bring them in our activities? This is
Yeah. But GM pasensya na no. Alam mo napapansin mo siguro napapailing na ako kasi
That's right.
parang I can't understand why is the National Housing Authority given the burden of clearing the esteros of the city of Manila when the esteros of the city of Manila is the responsibility of the city of Manila, clearing the rivers when it is the responsibility of the DNR. And hindi naman ako sa nang sisisi, no? My point is just, you guys don't have enough money, and I think you would be better off using whatever money you have, building low-rise shelters, homes, proper homes, for our less economically whatever, yung ating mga mahihirap, period.
I fully agree with your direction, Cito. I used to be the city planning officer of Davao City. And
Oh.
the primary obligation of the LGU is to be able to resettle and provide settlement to all of these persons living in their own locality. It is just very, I don't know, a challenge or unfortunate incident that NHA has been identified to be the lead agency in the clearing of all of this. But this has been an interagency activities already, Chito, undertaken by NHA as the lead agency. Of course, the ILJ, DNR, DPWH are also there in the interagency task force. But it is just unfortunate that NHA has been identified to be the lead
You
agency.
know,
Therefore, nandun yung pera dapat.
oh, you have 2 billion allotted to you. For how long? Up to 2020 December lang yan, 2 billion na yan? Or up to 2021 December?
Under the NEP, the 2 billion is for 2021, Sito. So that would mean from January of 2021. So practically, the target even for the Mandamos, something like when we conducted an inventory, more or less 100,000 of this, the 2 billion or the 1 billion to be exact for Mandamos can only translate up to 2,000 housing projects or units. So that would mean versus the 100,000 target, talagang medyo maliit siya. So yung sinasabi mo kanina, I fully agree with that. That the problem really is for LGUs to be able to respond as the first agency in trying, kasi may city housing, may local
Oh.
housing board. Under the Local Government Code of 1991, there is that local housing board that should be functional. There should be the CLUP of the LGU.
But are they functional, GM? Because here's my problem. It's not just the city of Manila. Natapat lang dahil dyan sa Manila Bay Rehab na yan. Pero this problem is all over Metro Manila, if not the country. Most cities have squatters, and the reason we have squatters is not because we have opportunists, but may squatters tayo kasi may mga developers, businesses, corporations that put up businesses and investments but don't invest on proper housing for the very employees their businesses rely on. And parang sabi ko, naisip ko lang, shouldn't these companies be tapped by your local housing development board, by the NHA, parang magsama-sama. Kasi parang lugi ka naman dyan. 2 billion na lang yung pera mo. Lahat salo mo pa.
Sa loko pa. Actually, tama kasi ito. Tama kasi ito. In terms of the local shuttle plan, that should be very functional, and the local housing board of each and every LG of the country should be able to respond. That's one. Yung sinabi mo kanina, that ang Damandamos is, to me, when I assume as the GM of NHA, should be an eye-opener only. This should only be the initiator. Because following the theory, following the principle of Mandamos, ito actually tama ka. It is not only Manila that experiences this kind of pollution and calamity whenever there is heavy rainfall, at the same time swelling of the river systems of Metro Manila going to Manila Bay. But case in point is there are other river systems all over the country that should be addressed proactively. I'm talking about the Iloilo River, I'm talking about Butuan River, the Davao River, the Cagayan River, and all other rivers for that matter. So sabi ko, the Bandamos can be initially applied and funded within the Metro Manila. But following the principle as well as the theory, government should be able to plan already how to address proactively the other major river systems of the country.
Pero hindi ba meron namang every city, town has a local environment officer. You have a local housing development board. I don't know, parang I almost feel like telling you, can't you go to the president? Total, tiga Davao ka naman eh. Or to Bongo, no? Para mapag-usapan na itong kalokohan na ito. Kasi parang we're passing on to the NHA something that should start from the local government. In any case, so you said you can only build 2,000 houses
For 2021.
for 2021. Ideally, how many are you houses? Ideally, in comparison to other countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, ideally, how many houses should we be constructing per year?
Dapat in all of the key shelter agencies, Pag-ibig Fund, NHA, SHAPSI, Home Mortgage Finance, we should be able to produce 250,000 yearly. We should be
Yearly.
able, yeah, yearly. But NHA has a share of something like 50 to 60,000 yearly in our target. But the whole problem really, Chito, is that the housing industry should be able to look at the project in a multi-year level production. Meaning to say,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like Singapore. Singapore did it in a 5-year program from 60 to 65, and they solved the problem.
that's right. That is why it is very essential. I'd like to take the cue from you that why can't we talk about having a budget that is very exclusive and that is dedicated for housing? Because for one, there is the sinasabi ko na ever since in the conferences, there is the conflict between formal statements and real intent. The plan is very good, and these are all in the in the plans. But the intent is found in the budget. So right now, I'm proposing to Senator Bongo, to Senator Tolentino, and this has been agreed upon by the economic managers of Duterte administration, Secretary Dominguez, ES, as well as Secretary Wendell Avisado, that we
Yeah.
need to have an act or a law, because the country is more or less very legalistic about it. So
Yeah,
what
of course.
say this is about the National Housing Production Development and Financing Bill of 2021 or 2022. What does it say? There should be an automatic appropriations every year that goes to housing. Case in point, the model that I am inspired is, of course, the AFP modernization. If we are really serious in housing, let's fund it, because no amount of good plans can ever succeed without the budget. So what I'm saying is that if we know exactly right now that the gap is 6.5 million and 1.8 million goes to National Housing Authority, we should be able to fund at least 30 or 35 billion every year. If there is no funds for that for the next 20 years or even 36 years dito, walang mangyayari sa housing natin. Because there is the gap, but there is an increasing urban migration every year. In fact, there was a statistics and study. Yeah.
Alam mo, GM, suggest mo na rin kay Bongo tsaka kay Senator Tolentino, suggest mo na rin kasi nagbabayad naman tayo ng, di ba, ng PhilHealth, nagbabayad tayo ng Pag-ibig, etc. Siguro yung mga companies na involved sa ganyan, yung maraming mga empleyado na yes, they're giving jobs, but they're also taking advantage of cheap labor. Maybe they should also have a contribution to that housing fund. In any case, again, naubusan na naman tayo ng oras. Medyo marami kasing nangyayari, GM. But don't worry, if you are available, I am available. Pagpatuloy natin tong discussion. But I already picked up something good from you that for 2021 or if not 2022, there should be a law that will have automatic appropriation, priority, and mandate for certain number of houses to be built annually, approximately 1.8 billion. Sana,
Over the next 20 years.
Over the next 20 years, sana, total, may 7 years naman si Bongo at saka si Senator Tolentino, Francis Tolentino, sana, pati yung mga nanalo, mapatunayan nila na talagang pro-housing sila. Thank you very much, GM.
Right now, Cito, the bill that we propose is already in its, initial stage. Senator Tolentino and Senator Bongo have already started to call for a committee hearing. So we appreciate on that manner how supportive our Senate is right now.
Okay, kung makausap mo sila, pakisabi naman magpa-interview sila para mabigyan natin ng konting exposure itong housing kasi napakahirap, hindi sila ma-reach. Okay, thank you very much, GM, and we hope that you have more success in this undertaking. Thank you, GM Marcelino Escalada Jr.
Thank you.
Okay, yan po si GM Marcelino Escalada, General Manager, National Housing Authority. And well, yeah, okay, it's frustrating, it's annoying that they've only been given 2 billion for 2021 para sa housing. Eh magagawa 2 billion ba? Tama ba yung pagkaalala ko? Anyway, they can only build so many houses. 2,000 houses, sus, Ginoo. Ang dami-daming mga nakatira sa barong-barong. Ayan, sige. Wag ninyong itratong tao, wag ninyong bigyan ng pabahay, kung saan-saan nilalagay na intelligence fund yung pera. Pagkatas, pag kumalat ng kumalat itong COVID dahil daming nagkakasakit, tingnan ko kung ano silbi ng intelligence funds ninyo. I'm sorry, we just really want more housing for the poor Filipino, and that's our agenda. Okay, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, I understand si Vince Dizon naman, and find out tungkol doon sa basketball. Anyari here on Agenda. Okay, you're back here on Agenda. I'm Cito Beltran. You are watching us via Signal TV, channels 8 and 250, as well as Facebook.com/OneNewsPH. And on YouTube, just punch in One News PH. Let's bring in our third guest, fourth na pa, including Marlene. But let's bring in our next guest, Secretary Vince Dizon, tungkol po diyan sa bubble sa Pampanga. Sec Dizon, good morning. You're looking good as usual. Clean
Good
cut.
morning po, Sir Cito. Magandang umaga po.
Okay, kamusta na yung nangyari dun sa PBA bubble? Kasi medyo, parang may natanggap akong news break na hindi naman pala COVID. What is the real score para official?
Yes. Magandang balita po, Sir Cito. Early this morning, the PBA issued a official statement that the player from Blackwater na initially nag-test positive sa PCR test, tinest ulit upon the advice of our experts at negative po ang kanyang PCR test na lumabas early this morning. At kahapon, tinest din po siya using antigen test, negative din po. Ito po ay consistent din dun sa unang kaso, kung maalala natin, earlier last week. Yung referee po na initially nag-test positive, pero nung tinest ulit ng PCR at antigen, negative din ang test. So confident po tayo with the PBA that the PBA bubble is intact. Wala pong breach sa bubble. It continues to be safe. And ang prueba din po nito ay lahat po ng close contacts, both nung referee at nung player, ay negative po lahat ang testing na ginawa sa kanila. So
Okay.
ano po, intact po ang bubble. at makakaasa po ang ating coaches and players and lahat po ng nasa loob ng PBA bubble. Kasama na rin po ng ating mga partners sa media ay safe po siya at hindi po siya nabi-breach.
Okay, mabuti naman yan. Pero hindi kaya posible na meron lang tao dyan na gustong paboran yung team nila. Kanya lumabas siya balita. Nagbibiro lang ako, Seka, kasi alam mo, medyo seryoso yung nangyari na yan. First, it was a threat to the PBA, attempt at going back to playing again. But here's a problem now. What questions or concern does this raise in terms of testing as a whole? Kasi ikaw ang testing czar, and I'm sure you must have been asking a lot of questions yourself on this problem.
Alam niyo po, Sir Cito, even before we started the bubble, no? Alam naman po natin at paulit-ulit po ang ating mga eksperto at ang IATF na sa COVID-19, wala po talagang perfect test. No, walang 100% ika nga. Kahit na po yung gold standard na sinasabi na PCR test na ginagamit natin sa PBA bubble at sa testing for COVID-19 sa bansa, hindi po yan 100%. No? And just as an example po, no, Sir Cito, yung pong NBA bubble, no, na ginamit nating benchmark, no, dito sa ating PBA bubble, meron din po silang eksaktong sitwasyon kamukha nung naranasan natin the past week. Nung pong Agosto, meron pong na-report na isang player ng Sacramento Kings na nag-positive sa isang test. Pero nung pong succeeding test at nung after validation, negative po. Kaya po ang conclusion ng NBA bubble, hindi po talaga negative yung player na yon. No?
Yeah.
And it is exactly what happened dito sa nangyari sa atin ngayon dun sa referee at sa player ng Blackwater. No, eksakto po. So this just shows us na hindi lang po tayo ang may ganitong klaseng challenge, no, at hamon, no. This is just a consequence of the situation where there are no perfect tests. Kaya nga po, testing is just one among the many other strict protocols na ini-enforce natin sa bubble.
Okay.
No? Kaya kailangan po talaga sumunod tayo sa lahat ng protocol, sa lahat ng guidelines, at hindi lang tayo pwedeng umasa sa testing lang.
Okay, but as the testings are you inclined to introduce certain safety or protocols? Kasi parang sa akin, magpapatesting ako, ang babayaran ko 6,000 yung RT-PCR. Pagkatas lalabas positive. Posible bang magkaroon tayo ng system na in the event of a positive, the testing facility must give a free second test? Kasi ewan ko, no? Kasi parang lugi ka naman, nagpa-test ka, pagkatas sinabing positive, no, nag-test ka ulit, negative, 12,000 para lang ma-neutralize yung finding na yun.
Iano po natin yan. Imumungkahin natin, Sir Cito, sa sa DOH, sa ITF. Kasi nga po, evolving talaga ito, Sir Cito, no? Talagang dahil nga yung imperfections nitong mga test, no, evolving pa talaga, no. Pero ngayon, dahil nga ginagawa natin tong PBA bubble, marami tayong mga natututunan po talaga. At dahil dito, marami tayong mga tanong. And kailangan po talagang imbestigahan at pag-aralan ng mabuti ng ating mga experts kung ano ang dapat gawin in terms of protocols, no? Kaya importante po talaga na hindi lang testing ang protocol. Kailangan regular ang clinical examination ng lahat ng mga nasa bubble. No, chinecheck natin sila kung sila may lagnat, may sipon, may ubo, etc. And kung merong mag-register na test tulad nung nangyari sa referee at sa Blackwater player, kailangan po talaga very very fast at very very decisive yung ating action sa pag-isolate sa kanila at sa pag-contact trace sa kanila, which yun po ang ginawa natin, no. Within less than 12 hours na isolate kagad yung mga hindi lang po yung mga nagpositibo initially, pero pati yung kanilang mga contacts, no? Importante po 'yon kasi
Mhm.
kaya nga sa Ingles, we have to err on the side of caution, no? We have to really
Of
be
course.
very conservative. Kaya nga po yung game ng Blackwater at pati na ng talk and text, sinuspend muna natin dahil meron silang contact dun sa player.
Mhm.
Kailangan po talaga yung mga protocols na yan to
Okay.
ensure na the bubble remains safe.
Outside of the bubble, I hope my figures are correct kasi I don't want to be an alarmist, but I think I heard this morning that there's about 6,000 OFWs who are spread out in different hotels. Ewan ko kung meron dyan sa Clark na naka-quarantine. But apparently, they're all stuck in La La Land and can't be tested because of this PhilHealth Red Cross
Yeah.
problem. What are you thinking or proposing or planning to do? Because that's money being paid, I think, by the government to the hotels. That's time lost by all of these OFW people, and we don't want another situation na biglang may mga tatakas na dahil sa
Opo.
inis, Secretary.
Totoo po, napakalaki po talaga ng epekto nung kawalan ng Red Cross Lab, no, yung paghinto dahil sa problema sa pagbayad, no, sa PhilHealth, no. Dahil doon talagang hindi lang po OFWs yan, Sir Cito, pati po yung testing natin sa areas tulad ng Metro Manila, hanggang sa areas sa Southern Luzon, apektado dyan, no? Bumaba po ang ating pagtetest sa mga areas na yan, no? At gaya ng sinabi mo nga, yung paghihintay ng mga ating mga OFWs, tumatagal. Dati po kasi, under the system nung nag-ooperate ang Red Cross, 24, minsan matagal na yung 48 hours, no? Nakakauwi na po sila at napapauwi na sila at napakalaki po ng dagdag na gastos nitong problemang ito ngayon. Pero ang maganda naman po ay mabilis tayong umaksyon together with the DOH. Ang NTF po sa pamumuno ni Secretary Galvez ay umaksyon ng mabilis. Kumuha po tayo ng ibang labs, no, to cover for the loss in the testing capacity dahil sa paghinto ng Red Cross. Pero mas matagal pa rin po siya, no? Hindi siya kasing bilis, no? Minsan umaabot ng 5 araw, 6 na araw, 1 linggo. Kaya hopefully po, nag-announce ng PhilHealth, magbabayad siya ngayon. Hopefully po maayos na yan. Pero ready po tayo, just in case tumagal pa ito, na ituloy ang testing sa other government labs at sinusubukan natin kumausap na ng mga iba pang mga private laboratories.
Pasensya ka na, last minute na ako with you,
Opo, no problem
Secretary.
po.
Are you, given this sad experience, are you not inclined to push Congress and the DOH to build another RITM? Because, RITM was good for us pre-COVID. Now, this is a national problem and we need to have a bigger facility to deal with this problem. Kasi mahirap naman yung asa tayo ng asa kung kani-kanino. Dapat meron na tayong sarili. Kung yung LGU meron, the national government should have more. Quick answer, sir.
Tama po yan, sir. No, kailangan po talaga we have to push for more facilities like our ITM. And right now, meron po tayong itatayong Virology Research Institute sa New Clark City. Ito po ay approved na ng NEDA sa pamumuno ni Secretary De La Peña ng DOST. Pero tingin ko po kailangan po talagang i-expand pati ang RITM. And even not just RITM in Muntinlupa, but to expand it all over the country, to have satellite centers like our ITM in other parts of Luzon, in the Visayas and Mindanao.
Okay. Congratulations, Sec Dizon, because that is going to help a lot. And I do hope that the Congress sees things your way. And congratulations for keeping the play going on at the PBA. Maraming salamat, Sec Vince Dizon.
Maraming salamat din po, Sir Cito. God bless po. Stay safe po.
Okay, that's Secretary Vince Dizon. Siya po yung gusto ko sabihin mayor ng New Clark City kasi talaga lahat naman pinapalakad niya doon, pati na yung PBA, pati na yung testing. Parang ang dami ng trabaho niyang mamang yan. Kanya hindi tataba yung mama na yan. In any case, let's move on to our next guest. We have, I believe we have Congresswoman Arlene Brosas of the Gabriela party list. Ayun, nando doon sa, bakit parang malungkot si Congresswoman? Parang pagod. Ano ba kamusta na, Congresswoman?
Ito okay naman po kasi recently katatapos lang ng aming 20th anniversary. Nag-20th anniversary po ang Gabriela Women's Party kahapon. So natapos na yung mga activities namin. Kaya medyo pagod, puyat, ang mga nag-support sa atin.
Okay, kaganda naman yung meow-meow mo dyan. Hindi, okay lang yan. We're all used to that. Mabuti nga sa akin, hindi ko pinalalabas yung aking maliit na kabayo dito, yung aking Great Dane. In any case, Congresswoman, last week was a bit touch and go. Well, touchy for Gabriela regarding yung naging declaration or comments ng isang general and well-known celebrities, no, isang artista at isang beauty queen. Ngayon, one of the things that caught my attention there was the mention that Gabriela is a underground mass movement. And truth be told, Gabriela has always had this association as a leftist organization. Is that something that your group really wants as its label or its identity? Or are you trying, the way you are with the party list, trying to get away from the leftist connotation to a formal, proper women's organization?
Kasi Sito, ng mga nakaraan nga, itong si General Parlade, no? Kung ano-anong ina-accuse without basis at kung ano-anong allegations sa amin. Lalo na sa Makabayan Block, na-identify niya. Actually, meron namang case na nakafile sa kanya kasi he goes around saying all those things na ganyan. Pero alam naman natin na lahat ng ginagawa ng Makabayan Block ay above board. At sinasabi nyo nga, may association, pero may association din naman kami sa iba-ibang mga organizations. Kahit na hindi mo naman mapipilit ng mga tao, gusto nila, for example, pumunta sa PNP, sa AFP, sa iba pa, no? We are just, kami po, dekada-dekada yung namin yung aming pakikipag-engage, no? Sa iba't ibang larangan, lalong-lalo na sa government, 'di ba? Lahat ng mga track record namin sa pagpapasa ng batas, ng mga resolutions, etc. Lahat po 'yan legitimate. And legitimate causes po ang aming mga ginagawa. Ngayon, if there are people, for example, na hindi sila nasapatan sa Gabriela, 'di ba? Kasi iba yung kanilang pananaw sa buhay. Hindi po namin 'yun mapipigilan. They will go to others, no, na sa tingin nila na mag-respond sa kanilang need. So, lahat po ng ginagawa ng Gabriela for the past 20 years ay mag-organize ng ating mga kababaihan, magpasa ng mga batas na tutugon sa kanilang mga pangangailangan. That is why ng mga nakaraan po, di ba, busy tayo sa anti-rape amendments dahil yun yung narinig natin na kailangan ng ating mga kababaihan, and yung pag-spike nga ng 240% na OSEC, online sexual exploitation and abuse, gusto nating patugunan yon. Ayaw natin na hindi makarespond yung mga pangangailangan, lalong-lalo na nung pandemya, yung domestic violence, nag-spike
Yes.
up pa. So, yung mga ganun po, no? Over the years, mula pa po kay Congresswoman Lisa Masa, no, hanggang sa ngayon, yung history po namin, lagi kaming sinisikil o di kaya lagi kaming pinaparatangan, lagi kaming kung ano-ano ang ina-accuse sa amin. Pero over the years din, lahat ng state-sponsored violence against women like us, against the Gabriela Women's Party, hindi po yun nagtagumpay. So, ibig sabihin, ito pong ginagawa na ito, we can't help but think na baka merong gustong patunguhan yung government or yung military per se right now. Just ayoko man manakot, pero parang baka mag-crackdown ito sa mga activists. Kaya nila ito ginagawa. Kasi parang why would you vilify, no? Mag-vilification kayo publicly, kung ano-ano ang sasabihin, tapos para i-condition ang tao without any basis. Wala nga sa korte, wala nga sa kahit saang puro sabi-sabi, puro hearsay, tapos sasabihin na masama itong mga tao na ito. So parang ganun yung yung massive red tagging, lahat-lahat
Yeah.
no?
But I have to be fair for the side of General Parlade. I hope you understand that, Congresswoman, kasi wala siya dito. Parang I can only imagine that the reason why guys like him or officers like him are speaking out kasi meron nga namang mga incidents in the past na may mga bata o may mga taong nadidisgrasya sa encounter o kaya sa mga pakikipaglaban sa pamahalaan. Kumbaga, I mean, I know what the backgrounds are, pero parang yun yata yung gusto mangyari ni General Parlade na sabihan sila, teka, number one, sikat kayo, binibigay ninyo yung kasikatan ninyo sa organization like Gabriela, and but Gabriela is not what they claim to be, and the proof of that is that some people who have joined Gabriela or supported Gabriela ended up getting killed because they crossed the line from being women activists. They became supporters of the NPA or the rebellion, etc., or enemies of the state.
Oo, Sito. Dapat ibalik din sa kanila yon, Kasi
Mhm.
why did they kill those people in the first place?
Mhm.
Why did they retract on the peace negotiations last 2017? Bakit hindi makipag-usap ang gobyerno kaugnay dito, 'di ba? Bakit hindi alamin kung bakit nagkakaroon ng mga tunggalian na ganito? Yung mga
Has there been efforts between, kasi congresswoman ka na, ma'am, has there been efforts to actually parang no cameras, no media, no Beltran, tayo magkaliwanagan nga tayo, ano ba ang problema ninyong military sa aming mga Gabriela or sa aming mga women's group? Kasi parang I don't know, I'm an optimist. I still believe in dialogues, I still believe in because kung hindi totoo itong pinaniniwalaan ko, hindi ka magiging party list eh. Hindi ka magiging congresswoman, di ba? Malamang at malamang nandoon ka sa Mindiola. Pero ngayon, you're in Congress. So there is hope, there is transition, but I have not heard of real conversations between the military and Gabriela, for instance.
palagi po kaming nagkakausap niyan sa Congress. Actually, lagi naming ini-interpolate even ang Department of National Defense, ang security natin, lahat naman po ay na face-to-face namin every time sa Congress. Wala pong reason para hindi nila malaman kasi kami nga yung pinakamasipag na nagtitingin ng mga budget nila. Every budget yan, lahat na lang, ganyan. So I don't know kung sinasabi po ninyo na kailangang magkaroon ng dialogue. In fact, araw-araw naming nakakasama yun sa Congress pag pinapatawag.
Pero sa Congress hindi ba bakbakan?
Yes, actually, kaya nga ang reason namin para bakit kailangan i-vilify publicly? Bakit may mga ganito na lumalabas? Bakit may mga ganyan na ano? Samantalang doon pa lang pwede naman talagang i-point out ano? At sumasagot naman sila doon, 'di ba? Nagbibigay nga sila ng details ng kung ano-anong mga hinihingi at nire-request ng party list.
Yeah.
So, parang ngayon,
Baka naman nagseselos lang kasi nakuha ninyo si Lisa, so ano ba, Soberano ba 'yun? Nakalimutan ko na yung
like
bata.
sa
Tsaka
artista,
baka naman nagseselos, paano niyo nakuha?
ang history naman ng Gabriela, grabe, simula pa nung umpisa, 'di ba? Former senator, mga congresswoman na nakasama natin, na mga Miss Universe, binibining Pilipinas, 'di ba? Meron tayong mga ganun na na nakasama, at mga advocates talaga ng women.
I guess they just don't see it in the more positive light, that instead of puro ibagsak, magsikan, nakikita na natin ngayon na nagme-mainstream, may pumapasok na rin ng mga sinasabi nga natin non-affiliated individuals. Pero matanong ko lang, ano ba yung sinamahan nila Lisa at ni hirap talaga ng tumatanda, Congresswoman. Di ko na matanda.
Gender-based violence, abuses on women ang kanyang webinar.
Okay.
Ay sa Soberano, in-invite po siya ng Gabriela Youth. Yung Gabriela Youth, nagkaroon sila ng webinar, so she was the one who explained yung experience niya kasi meron po siyang experience ng bullying online tungkol sa rape, no? Rape threat actually. Kaya ang dangerous po dito, after nun, nagpalabas ng missive itong si General Parlade, na parang sinasabi ni General Parlade, hindi daw siya nagte-threat doon, pero kitang-kita doon sa na veiled threat 'yon. Na wag kang sama, etc. Ano 'yun, di ba?
Well, pero what is it between Gabriela and General Parlade? Kasi may nabanggit ka kanina, sabi mo kinasuhan niyo siya or something?
Hindi. Nasa ombudsman yung case ni Congressman Zarate, no? Kami, we are still thinking kung ano yung dapat na i-case sa kanya. Kasi I believe nag-threaten din siya sa akin personally, di ba? Tapos meron siyang mga sinasabi na maraming kasinungalingan tungkol sa akin. Actually, binanggit niya pa yung high ranking daw ako. Mga ganon, ano? Ang daming mga accusations na kailangan siguro pag-aralan namin kung paano to bring to court talaga yung
Okay. In any case, so going back to my first question, tungkol sa Gabriela as a women's organization, will we ever, hindi ako muhusga, no? Pero parang observe ko lang, no? Will we ever see the time when Gabriela is simply Gabriela, neither left, neither right, wala yung mga isims, wala yung mga usual dialogue of people opposed to the how do you call it, to the administration?
Sito, mahirap yan i-envision ngayon kasi with the conditions na meron tayo, kasi we believe na may impunity talaga ngayon lalong-lalo na sa mga human rights defenders, lalong-lalo activists. So mahirap i-envision ngayon. Pero of course, we are hoping, kasi kami din naman naniniwala sa peace negotiations. Naniniwala kami na dapat tugunan yung mga root causes of the armed conflict. Tapos yung social ills na nagbibigay ng reason kung bakit may insurgency sa atin. Siguro, kailangan talaga yung mga usapin na ito. Parang ganito kasi ang sinasabi mo, wag lang kami mag-dwell on expanded maternity leave, wag lang kami mag-dwell on sexual harassment, wag lang kami mag-dwell
Hindi. Suportado ko yun, Congresswoman. Suportado ko yun.
Part of all of that ay yung matugunan din yung mga yon, unless hindi talaga matugunan yung mga issues on women, no, and issues of our society, no. yung mga corruptions, yung mga kasi ano yan lalong nagpapalala no nung kalagayan ng ating bansa. So
Ayun.
yun yung gusto natin. We can
Mhm.
have that kung ganun yung ating pamamahala sa kasalukuyan.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, Congresswoman. At least medyo naliwanagan. Talagang we want an ideal situation, pero sa dami ng mga nangyayari, mga problema, abuso, mga pangangailangan, it is hard to just act like everything is okay because it's not. And you give proper perspective to it in any case. Thank you very much, Congresswoman. At medyo pahinga ka muna.
Yes,
Talagang mukhang napuyat at napagod ka.
ng mga nakaraan kasi grabe, sunod-sunod kasi po talaga eh. Tapos yung mga women's rights defenders talaga ngayon, they are really, really mad about what's happening. Kaya meron pong red lipstick, um, no to red tagging, yes to red lipstick tayo.
Okay. Ako hindi pwede akong gumamit ng red lipstick at mababaril ako ng aking commander. Okay. Thank you.
Yan po dyan.
Thank you.
Sige
Okay,
po.
thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Congresswoman Arlene Brosas of the Gabriela Party List. And baka sabihin naman ninyo, Cito, napaka-idealistic mo naman. Alam niyo po, I am a Christian. I am not ashamed to say I'm a Christian. And as best I can, when I can, kumisan, medyo nadudulas din tayo, umiinit din ulo ko, pero as best we can, we try to dwell on the positive, on the hopeful, on the things that we can all be good at and be united with. Okay, so let's just keep praying for our country, praying for our national leaders, the military, the police, the Gabriela, everybody, for all Filipinos to somehow come together as one nation and under God and just really have a better future. I hope it's a good start for a week. Please stay warm, stay dry, and stay safe. Thank you very much. That's Agenda for today.